Shift the culture. We will heal the sick. We will raise the dead. Transform the nation. We will hear well done. Are we live? We will spend for Jesus. We will speak the culture. We will hear the sick. Okay. Okay. We will spend for Jesus. We will speak the culture. We will hear the sick. Okay. Okay. We are live. We are live. We are live on YouTube. Sound and audio looks good. Okay. Welcome, guys. Welcome to our Sunday market prep Sundays with Eva on a Saturday. Actually have a busy day tomorrow. Oh my God. Hi, baby girl. I'm busy right now, okay? Can you go meet Dada? Did you finish your food? Thank you. Can you go meet Dada, please? You watch Peppa Pig? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Can you close the door, please? She's so cute. Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Yes, as I was saying, I have a busy day tomorrow, so I don't want to miss yet another live session because I missed last week's own. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do it today because it's still weekend anyways, right? So let's prepare for the new week. Last week was a beautiful week. I ended the week with three wins on GU, NU, and GJ. Perfection. Risking, how much did I even risk? I'm not, of course I use risk management, but I ended the week with 40% profit on my trading account, basically. So I actually just filmed the breakdown for all three trades, okay, so you guys can learn from them and catch these moves in real time yourself, because I want to teach you guys how to fish for yourself, not just like give you signals and feed you. You have to learn how to do the thing for yourself, right? So but yeah, let's go. Let's do the thing we have to do for today. Okay, let me pull this down. Starting with fundamentals. Like the economy is just so interesting these days, like for both Canada and US. Anyways, regardless of the economy, regardless of the market conditions, we will continue to prosper in our trading. The markets will continue to favor us no matter what happens, and that should always be your mindset. Okay, I know that everyone has their opinion of, market conditions these days in comparison to last year. Last year has passed, okay? Let's face what we have for right now, okay? So, but your mindset should always be positive, meaning you should always have the mindset of the market is going to favor me regardless of the economic situations, regardless of the political events, regardless of the inflation. The markets are going to favor me. My trading strategy is going to be favored in these markets, no matter the market conditions right now and the market conditions to come. Okay, that should always be your mindset, because that is my mindset. Okay, so let's go. Fundamentals, starting with Forex Factory. Starting with Forex Factory, today's Saturday. AUD holiday tomorrow, which is Sunday. Chef holiday, Euro holiday on Monday. US CPI on Wednesday. Oh, Friday was NFP. Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, so Thursday we have GBP and USD. It's fairly okay. I am a swing trader, and to be honest, fundamentals does play a part in my trading, but these days I'm not like so focused on fundamentals anymore. Like I'm just focused on continuously executing my strategy, enter when necessary, exit when necessary, and that's pretty much it, right? Okay, so that's it. Fundamentals look okay to me. So looking at the technicals, I told you guys that my top pairs are USD pairs and JPY pairs, right? So with that being said, I like to look at their currency indexes to anticipate moves, and that tends to up my win rate. That's just me personally. Like, do what works for you. Okay, so the dollar is at the bottom. Like the dollar is just like chilling here. Let's see the weekly candle. Okay. The weekly candle closed very, very weak. Very weak at the bottom. It did not create a new low. Okay. So that means that price could potentially continue upwards. Okay. That's the first anticipation. Let me see the daily. Okay, 4 hour. Okay, so that's the first anticipation. However, going off of the current market structure, we have a 4-hour zone here. So price could literally just tank off of where it's at right now, doing something like this. Okay, so now for this one that I drew out to happen, we need to see a 4-hour shift of structure. So meaning we need price to break this zone right here, break, retest to continue to the upside. So if this does not happen, I will not be getting into a trade. However, if price starts to play around this zone, create some form of bearish variation, bearish engulfing, then we can continue to go short, and then we go long on pairs like GU, NU, AU, EU. Okay. JPY. Weekly candle closed super bearish, of course, because GJ closed bullish. Okay, weekly candle closed super bearish on JPY. I would anticipate for this pair to continue to the downside. The question is off of where? That's the question. Daily time frame, we can see some form of retest. So funny how that aligns with GG perfectly, and you see what I mean right now. Gonna delete this. Retest to continue to the downside. This is some form of like supply zone, and also like a like a zone. This is kind of like a supply zone, right? Because we have some form of indecision, and then price just tanked, breaking the previous structure. Okay, so retest, and to totally make sense, so I'm gonna send my alert, create GJ. Yeah, so this was the move I caught on GJ on Thursday to Friday. Super beautiful, super clean, good RR, straight to the point trade. So moving on to the next opportunity, what I can see here, let me show you the 4-hour. Yeah, wait for some form of retest, right? And that totally aligns with what we just saw on the JPY. So something like this. So price has broken, so come back to retest to continue to the upside, and then ultimately break and retest this zone up here to the upside, right? Because we have a level of resistance. So break, retest to continue upwards, unless price decides to just like tank and, you know, break structure to the downside. So I'm going to move my alerts up here. So we'll see if that happens. EJ would be similar. I haven't placed a trade on this pair in a few weeks. Weekly candle closed super bullish. Daily candle closed bullish as well. 4-hour time frame. We can see a clean break and retest that could happen, right? We have level of resistance, price could come back, use it as support to continue to the upside, straight to the point. Add alert, create. Okay, never overcomplicated. Like, just keep it simple, bro. Keep it simple. Okay. UJ. I haven't traded UJ in a while. I feel like it's kind of like my own gray area because it's like the mixture of the both my top pairs. Do you get what I mean? Have a level of support at the bottom here. 4 hour. Yeah, similar to GJ as well, actually. So basically for this to happen at this point, add alerts, create USD CAD. Haven't taken this pair in a while as well. No, not monthly, weekly. Okay, so you see, it is bearish, like it's clearly bearish. Daily is bearish as well. I can see a zone at that spot. Let me see the 4 hour. Yeah, totally makes sense on the 4 hour. So some form of retest to continue going short. Set alert, create. Okay. USD CHF. After you like hit my SL, I haven't. It's just messy to me, at least. Yeah, it looks like UCAD, but I don't like it, so I'm gonna put that one to the bottom actually. Okay. EU, super bullish 4 hour. Yeah. Retest, continue going up. Set alerts at this spot, create daily. Yeah, except if price decides to like start breaking structure to the downside, of course, right? Then we shift our bias. I don't like you when you do that. Okay. GU. Okay, got a nice move on GU. Moving on to another move again, of course. I feel like the move is not done yet. Do you get what I mean? The weekly candle closed bullish, but it has a wick to the upside, just like the dollar has a wick to the downside, right? The daily candle did not break or create a clear new high on the daily time frame, which would make this zone still valid. Okay, so that means that price could actually come back to retest this zone again to continue to the upside, and that's what I'll be interested in. Create alert. Let me see the 4 hour. Yeah, I would not like to take the 4 hour. Let me see. Yeah, it's similar to like the other USD pairs, but to me I feel like this would be like a higher probability trade. But it could also just come back here for simple retest before it starts to create a new high, except if it decides to shift direction totally, then we break and retest somewhere here. Okay, we're doing this quickly. So this is AU. I was gonna take AU buy, but I got into NU instead. And I was like, you know what, I'm already in GU and NU. What's the use of taking AU? It's like that was just like up my risk on one. It's kind of like just one trade idea, right? But I'm actually preferring the structure on NU in comparison to the other USD pairs. Yeah, AU was just like too like consolidatey. Like it's moving upwards, but like move well. Okay, level of resistance 4 hour. Yeah, it will make sense for price to actually drop all the way down here to test again. Delete this arrow, retest, continue, except if you decide to shift structure totally and you buy. This was the other trade I took on last week. Okay, so weekly candle closed. It did close bullish, long wick to the upside, daily candle bearish. So I'd anticipate for price to come back to this support zone again to test. Add alerts, create. Okay. What else? GBP. You know what? I'm actually in a trade. I forgot. I'm in GCAD, you guys. I'm in GCAD shorts. Right? Yeah, I am. I completely forgot, bro. Okay, so this is a trade idea. Okay, we have a level of resistance on a weekly time frame. Then the previous week, not like last week, but like the week before, this candle closed super bearish, and anticipating for price to just continue to the downside, because this bearish candle created a daily time frame shift of structure. Do you get? So anticipating for price to continue to the downside, except if it decides to continue to the upside, like whatever. But you know, do you get what I'm saying? Shift of structure to go to the downside. One moment. Yeah, okay. Yeah, shift of structure to continue to the downside. So I'm still in this trade. I'm actually in profit. I should go check that actually. Yeah, so I'm anticipating for price to just continue dropping. However, it's taking its sweet time, because I got into this trade on Tuesday and like, bro, move, but yeah. So moving on, right? I'm already in this trade, but in terms of like market structure, let me see the daily time frame. So this right here is the zone that's going to keep the trade valid. If it decides to start breaking upwards with like fat bullish candles, then the trade is totally invalid. Okay. So this is the zone. So if you're looking to get into this trade, maybe watch to see if price would come back to this zone next week, react again, and then continue to the upside. So it would do something like a pull up and then drop. Okay. So that would be the anticipation, but I'm still short, like I'm still bearish on this pair. So yeah, so that would be it for the technical aspect of things. Risk management, of course, like manage your risk. Manage your risk, guys. Just like manage your risk. I don't know how else to explain. Risk management is so important, like it's so essential. It keeps you in the game, it keeps you safe. Because even if you place a trade, you don't really know like the economic events that's going to happen next week and the week after and the month after, right? So risk management is kind of like our, safety as traders. Okay, so manage your risk. So let's talk psychology. You see, I'm in my 4th year of this. I'm in my 5th year. I'm in my 5th year of this journey, and man, psychology is like constantly evolving. Like for me, at least, my psychology is constantly evolving. Okay. I tend to learn new things about myself as a trader occasionally. Let me see if there are any questions. Hey Eva, could you precisely talk about how spreads in our various broker affect our trades, please? So regarding spreads, it depends on your broker. I think the broker that I use, they give me good spread. So I believe spread is about the price you get when you execute a trade. Okay, so for example, if the market was open and I was going to execute a trade exactly at this spot, if you have a low spread, that means that price would execute you at this exact spot. Okay, however, if the spread is very high there and maybe you are, let's say you're selling, price would then execute you down here when price has not even your broker will execute you down here when price has not even reached that zone yet, right? So that automatically eats into your profits. Do you get? So you should use a broker that has reasonable spreads, of course. Yeah, so that being said, talking about psychology. Yeah, so I was saying my trading psychology is constantly evolving, and I think it's not only the market that tends to affect our trading psychology as traders. Like, different things happening in our lives, depending on where you're at in life in general. Even your financial situation affects your trading psychology. Like, the things you see, the things you listen to, the people you listen to affect your trading psychology greatly. Okay. However, you also have to learn how to protect your trading psychology as a trader, because remember that trading is what, 10 or 20% technicals, and then the rest is like psychology and performance and all of that stuff, right? So that psychology is what you need to protect the most. Okay. And you need to devise your own way of protecting your own psychology. The way I protect my own psychology is, during the trading week, I try to not look at traders as much as possible. Okay. That's the first thing I do. I limit my trading content consumption. Then secondly, I try to keep my head in check. So regardless of what the market throws at me, I try to maintain my trading psychology by knowing I'm maintaining who I am as a trader. Okay. So let's look at this book again. Yes. So I was reading this, and there was one part that stood out to me that I think that would really resonate with traders. Again, like I said, like, it's not only like trading related stuff that can affect your trading positively and negatively, right? So other books, other things can affect trading as well. So let's read this. This is talking about confidence and fear, and this is page 56 of the book. It says here, deposit only positive thoughts into your memory bank. Okay. Let's face it squarely. Everyone encounters plenty of unpleasant, embarrassing, and discouraging situations. Everyone does. Okay. But unsuccessful and successful people deal with these situations in directly opposite ways. Unsuccessful people take them to heart, so to speak. They dwell on the unpleasant situations, thereby giving them a good start in giving them a good start in their memory. They don't take their minds away from them being the unpleasant thoughts or unpleasant situations. At night, the unpleasant situation is the last thing they think about. However, confident and successful people, on the other hand, don't give it another thought. Successful people specialize in putting positive thoughts into their memory bank. And this resonated with me so much as a trader, because as traders, like, we encounter losses all the time. Losses are a part of the journey. Like, you cannot, come up with like this secret strategy that would totally neglect or totally count out losses in your trading. Like, it's something that you're constantly going to deal with, regardless of where you're at as a trader. Whether you're in 10 years, 20 years, you will take losses. Okay. However, what is important is how you deal with it. Okay. Now, in this scenario, as traders, the unpleasant situation would be losses. Okay, because we tend to see losses as unpleasant, and losses are not really pleasant, right? It makes sense. But the difference between a successful trader and an unsuccessful trader is how they deal with those losses. Okay, so like it says here, unsuccessful people, they tend to store the unpleasant situation in their memory bank. Like, they constantly think about it, they constantly replay the unpleasantness. Unsuccessful traders tend to store the losses in their memory bank. They constantly replay how they took a loss. Oh my God, I took a loss. Oh my God, I took a loss. And they keep thinking about the fact that they took a loss. Okay. However, confident and successful people, on the other hand, they don't give it another thought. Successful people specialize in putting positive thoughts into their memory bank. Now, what I would say about this with regards to traders is, successful traders tend to analyze the loss. Okay, why did I take this loss? Was it on my part? Did I not analyze properly? Did I not execute properly? Did I put my SL at the wrong place? Was this a good loss or a bad loss? A good loss is a loss taken after following all of your rules. A bad loss is a loss taken after disregarding your rules. Okay? If it was a good loss, you let go of the loss. Like, act like that loss never happened. If it was a bad loss, you need to what? Fix it. Okay? If it was maybe FOMO, or you didn't analyze properly, you fix that and then you still move on. Okay? So what I'm saying here is, as traders, we tend to see losses as unpleasant, and honestly, losses are not really pleasant. However, how we deal with this is what's important. So when you take a loss, you analyze your loss. Was this a good loss? Was this a bad loss? If it was a good loss, let go of it. Okay? If it was a bad loss, you learn from that opportunity. Okay? See it as an opportunity, a learning opportunity. You learn from that opportunity, analyze the things you did wrong, correct yourself, and move on. Let go of the loss. Start afresh, because we are focused on one good trade, then another one good trade, and then another one good trade. Okay, so in order to focus on the one good trade and another one good trade, that means that the loss that you took has absolutely nothing to do with the next trade you're about to execute. And in order for that to happen, you need to analyze, okay, this was a good loss, this was a bad loss. I learned from it if it was a bad loss, and then I move on from the loss like it never happened. Okay, so I hope this was helpful in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, with that being said, I have a couple of videos that I'm probably going to be dropping this week. So I'll see you guys in our next live session. Let me see if there are any other questions. Okay, no other questions. So I'll see you guys in our next live session or in the next YouTube video. Have a wonderful weekend and trade safe when the week starts.